Okay, guys, welcome to a video. I hope this video is gonna be a quick video, and seriously, I'm trying to launch a Minecraft profile right now. This is gonna be a Sculk Horde showcase video. It's a Minecraft infection mod, and I know, like, this genre has been slapified over and over again, but this is a really high quality one. It's really good. It's completely vanilla. Like, you can log in, and, you can immediately start playing, and with vanilla gear plus the gear the mod had, you can win, basically. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the Minecraft window. I have to resize it. Hold on. Oh my god, this is it. Oh wait, no, full screen is easier to resize. Hold on. Technical difficulty. Oh god. It's technical difficulties. Okay, that should work. That should work. So, we don't need 82 mods, right? All you really need... Oh, that's a bad word. All you really need is the Sculk Horde mod right here. I'll put a link in the description, and I'll probably, like, I don't know, when editing, I'll put, like, the mod's logo. I have these extra mods just in case. Now, with these mods, Sculk Horde... hold on, I'm gonna decrease the volume of the music. Okay, there it is. There it is. Okay, good. So, with the Sculk Horde mod is very well made, but for infection mods in general, you might want to use Arena, which catches ticking exceptions. Oh, this video's gonna be long, but it's already been a minute. Okay, let's quickly load into a new world. You know what? I'm not gonna put any game modes. We're going to launch it immediately. I'm not very well versed in the items and recipes, so luckily I have JEI to help me. But I might be doing some hold on, I accidentally closed the tab. I might be doing not close, minimize. Oh my god, this video is a mess. But yeah. So okay, so here's how this mod works. Normally you're not gonna be in spectator, but what you're going to do is this mod is entirely trigger it yourself. Like, if you don't want to trigger it, you just want to have it just in case, it's fine. I have a Trial Chambers backport. This mod is available, its latest version's on 1.20.1. So, that's about it. Seriously, this Minecraft music. I lowered the volume on OBS, but it feels like it's, because doing that doesn't lower the volume on mine. So you're gonna go to this structure. If you're locating this structure, it's going to be called the Sculk 2 main, and it's gonna be right here. And what you're gonna do, this only works in survival, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to this way, and you'll find here this ancient Sculk brain node, and you'll go to survival. You can basically, like, move around. Yes, so you see this message, the Sculk Horde has been awakened, we started the infection. And it started. That advancement is also sign you started the infection. So, hold on, I'm gonna see how much time. 3 minutes. Okay. Max, I want to make this video like 30 minutes. Minimum, I probably like 15 minutes. But basically, now it's going to start spreading, right, across the world. And look at it for this. The main way the summoning mechanic works, you know, in like Escape and Run or like Fungal Infection Spore, 2 other popular infection mods, I'll link them below too. Oh my god, okay, well, those mods, okay, it's slowly locating information. Okay, those mods, the mobs just passively spawn whenever they get one. Okay, we might want to explain this first. So the Sculk node, both so there's the brain node and the regular, or the ancient and the regular. The regular is like occasionally placed by the Sculk Horde when we're gonna have to check a wiki for this. I'm not sure if there's a limit, a requirement, rather, but they're placed. Not sure if there is a requirement. You do need accumulated mass must be above 4,000, and green mine must be an immature stage or above. So the Grave Mine, if you go to status, right, the Grave Mine, it has 3 stages: undeveloped, immature, and mature. So if we, and the way it gains mass is by infesting blocks, and it can use that mass through Sculk summon blocks, and they get activated by Sculk sensors. And so we'll like do some. I hope this will work. Yeah. So you see that normally summons things. Actually, I think you've seen these mites, and these mites go on infect. And basically, when this sheep drops to half health, it gets burrowed, and when this effect expires, what happens is a mass block is placed that can spawn another mob, and if the sheep is below half health, afterward it'll get reinfested, and this way they can also generate mass. This is, I think, a pathfinder, but they're not just supposed to try to kill an already burrowed mob. But okay, yeah. So you see this, yeah. So that's what happens, and then this happens. This, yeah, and you see that suns the mite. So that's like burrowed, and so you can see the mass has been going down. I thought it would go up, but I think it's been going down because we've been summoning more things. So, at I forgot the exact value. I think it might just be 4,000. I know, yeah, it's either 4,000 or 5,000. I don't remember that. Oh my god. Hold on. Grave Mine. 5,000. Yes, so at 5,000 mass, it gets immature. Right? So if we check using that status command again, you'll see immature. And at 20,000 mass, so we'll add 15,000, right? It gets to mature. And so, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Actually, you know what? I just had a good idea. I'm going to talk about the mobs and systems here, and then I'll do research on the items and talk about them in the next video. Because I have no idea about the items. I mean, I can tell you what each one does, because it has a funny little hold shift, fun little hold shift to view functionality, so you can see what each thing does, which is very helpful. I don't think any other infection one really has that. Especially not on wiki or anything, and obviously you can check the recipes using the recipe viewer. I have just enough items. Any recipe viewer should work. I'm not sure, but you know. Also, if you're wondering the shader I'm using BSL. I really like this shader. So I have, okay. So on the map you can see, yeah, the Sculk is spreading. Oh, there's Sculk here too. The blue, all the blues are the Sculk. So there's a bunch of systems in this. First of all, there's the Grave Mind, I guess, system, if you really want to call it one, and I kind of explained it's the mature and immature stage, and in each stage different things can happen. According to the wiki, in the immature stage, raids can now happen and some units are unlocked, and in the mature stage, gas deployments, hit squads, and more units are unlocked. That's a lot. That's a lot. So we'll go through each event together. So the raid event. You can trigger it with this dev wand, which will have a mob raiding area. I'm not gonna do it here because sometimes the Sculk Enderman dies too early. But basically, when a raid triggers, a Sculk Enderman spawns. If I can show you one, it's basically one of the bosses of the mod. It's right here. If I can show you its abilities, I'll spawn an iron golem for this demonstration. So yeah, so it summons these spitters. That's one of its abilities. Then it can go up. It can fight melee. It can show all of its abilities. It can teleport. It can do this thing, which levitates. Which is actually quite cool as well. When you show your abilities, you just keep teleporting. Oh yeah, Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom. That's nice. Oh, it's Sculk Vindicator. And I don't know. Okay, well, we're not showing. Yeah, so this thing's cool. If an enemy walks in here, it teleports and takes a bit of damage. Most of that, including Sculk Horde. It's a little bit of a thing. It's cool. So what happens is the raid wand happens. Not wand, but the raid event triggers. It comes here. And if you don't defeat it in time, the raid will start. Normally, this is like I don't know. I've set it in my config to be like 3 minutes, but I think it's normally like 8 minutes or 10 minutes or something. But for 3 minutes, after the time is up, the raid will start. Now, what it is, it's a bunch of, like, mobs, like Sculk Spitters, like you'll see them, Sculk Spitters, that's a Hatcher's sheep, that's a Spitter, it's like the skeleton, and accompanying Sculk Creepers. That's a zombie. And we'll use the Prince to demonstrate. So these Sculk Creepers, what they do is they search out, like, objects of interest, like beds, etc. And you have them, right? And when they explode, they infest all over the place, like that. So they're really cool. Oh, and this little mini structure is being placed. How much time? How much time? 10 minutes. So, that's the raid event. If you beat... There are checks, like, there's a minimum amount of time between when raids can occur. And all of this is adjustable through the config. Unlike other, like 2 other infection mods, Fungal Infection, Spore, Escape, and Run, for Sculk Horde, you can't actually modify the enemy stats in the config, but the good thing about that is you don't have to delete your config and have them get regenerated every time there's a major update that changes something. So that's cool. That structure is completed. I believe Sculk Living Rock is used for, I have no idea what it's used for, though. So, recently, and by recently I mean like the end of May, so and we're a bit late on that one, but it's fine, it's fine. They've added some new things. So, they've added a hit squad event. This is cool. It's the second boss of the mod, along with this, and the third boss is Sculk Gas. So the hit squad is special. Immature. The game in mature stage for the Great One, the game's difficulty must be hard, and when that happens, and a player destroys 2 nodes and another node must be present and at least 100 blocks away, the Grave Mind will be like, this player / mob, I don't actually think you can send. Yeah, I can't send a hit squad against mobs. But this player, he's getting a bit too strong. So what it's going to do is, if you go to SHD, Sculk Horde Development, I think, I'm not sure, but you can spawn the Sculk Reaper, and the difficulty, and it'll spawn with a squad. So here, it's actually called the Angel Reaping, but it'll spawn with a squad and it'll try to hunt you down. Now, what the Angel Reaping can do is a bunch of magic, really. So you'll see here, you have spawns of Sculk effects, or the Sculk enemies getting involved. That's evil. But you'll see, like, so that's laser beams, basically. It's cool. So, oh god. Oh no, I see you. There's a lot of noise. So what happens is, what happens is that if you defeat the hit squad, next time they'll come back stronger. That's what this difficulty is. So it might come back with a 4 difficulty, and this will be slightly harder to beat. The difficulty, I believe, can go up to unlimited. Oh, it's capped at 254. And at 254, this guy has such strong resistance that he takes no damage. How's it nighttime already? So normally you'll never get to 254. This is like a fun thing. Like, if you ever want to bias an infection mod versus battle, or you just want to, like, see how strong theoretically it can get, practically you'll never get to 254. No player is strong enough to get into 254 unless you have, like, the Infinity Sword or something. It's a hit squad. If it kills you, then the next time it happens, it'll be weaker. And if you run away, it'll just stay there and wait. And the funny thing is, the Angel Reaping is supposed to be like a Sculk Evoker, so it spawns with the Sculk Vindicators, Sculk Ravagers, and Sculk Witches, which all appear in raids, which is kind of cool. I'm fairly certain it's intentional. The next one, and the last one, is the Gas Deployment event. The Grave Mine must be in a mature stage. Again, the game difficulty must be hard, and there must be a node, and Oh my god, I keep hearing the phrase. If the target is a mob, it must have killed at least 100 Sculk mobs according to the wiki, but sometimes it's less, I think, when I saw it in experimentation. I'm not sure. So don't quote the wiki, please. And so what happens is that the Sculk Ghast was created by the nearest node and traveled. Why is my FPS so low? I swear it can be, 120. Why is it capping itself at 60? It's like dumb. I don't know what's capping my FPS at 60. Well, obviously, okay. I spawned it in the ground, so it's not going to work. With these Sculk Metamorphosis pods, it spawns, and they explode, basically, and they create Sculk mobs. It also creates infestation, and when fighting, yeah, oh wow, he started flying. It can fire fireballs. Yeah, fireball, there it is. I think that's it. That's all I can do. Yeah, that's all I can do. Oh, no, it can actually, like, pick up mobs and spawn them later. Like, you can pick them up, make them disappear, and then later spawn them later. It's quite cool. What I like about this mod in particular... Hold on, I have to show you what the node does. So the node, this is the node, I'm calling the node event right now, and it just infests, like, a large chunk of the world when it first spawns. And it also constructs this barrier made of arachnoid. I spawned it partially in the ground, so it's kind of hard to see. But, yeah, it constructs this barrier called arachnoid. Sculk arachnoid. And it eventually also layers Duramatter over it. And that protects it. And when you destroy a node, if we can find it anyway, yeah, so mass is removed. So it takes mass to spawn it, and it takes mass to remove it, but once it's spawned, it helps massively. Stuff is still happening over there. This is a really cool mod. I'm going to end this off with, like, a little mod review. I'm gonna say this only showcases the mob, the infestation mechanic, just everything except the items. And blocks, I guess. Well, I guess I'm showcasing the blocks right now, yeah. There's a lot of blocks in this mod. Not as much as Minecraft, but, you know. So there's, like, a lot of blocks. There's, like, varieties for almost every situation. Wood, I think, those are for stone, stuff like that. And there's a few defaults up there. They'll often default to regular Sculk. Here's the thing with this mod. The Warden in Minecraft is hard-coded to attack any mob except, like, a creative mode player and other wardens. So what happens is, because the mod developer doesn't want to change Minecraft, the Warden attacks Sculk Horde mobs. If we can have a demonstration. Yeah, so you see here, it's aggroing. It might be aggroing on that horse, actually, not the Sculk right now. It's aggroing on that horse. Yeah, but you see that's Sculk Bite's trying to attack it, it's aggroed on that horse. And you see, yeah, look, what's happening? It's fighting. They're all fighting. Now, obviously, they'll lose, considering there's a 254 difficulty annual reaping, so... you do with that when you will. But yeah, so the Warden fights, unfortunately. It's not too big of a deal, though. This is still very well made mod. I have to say, for an infection mod, it doesn't fall victim to the plague, I'd like to call it, of stat bloat and power creeping. Like, power creeping the enemies. Like, you add an enemy, it has, like, a lot of health, a lot of damage, but not so much a complicated mechanic, and now you think you want to one-up the previous enemy, and like that. It doesn't really fall victim to that. Although I do have to say the Sculk Enderman might be one of the weakest bosses, so it's kind of done that. But it's not like, okay, so this boss is like a normal boss, right? So the next boss has to be a raid boss, it doesn't really do that. It's also quite unique. When it kills enemies, it doesn't convert them. It gets mass, I guess. And then it uses that to spawn enemies, but it uses mass, so there's actually a trick. Okay. I did not remember that the Sculk Soul Reaper, sorry, Angel Reaper, could summon tornadoes. But here we are. Oh my god. It's just the sound effect is cool. These also these differences. The shaders are making them glowing, which is cool, but it's kind of also hard to see their complete model. Oh, it despawned. I can't even show you the model. Oh, hold on. I do need to show this mod without shaders because some people can't handle shaders, and forget it, that. So yeah. So this is what the Sculk Vax looks like. Don't turn it on. The enemy design is the same. It's just with the BSL in particular, some parts are glowing, and so you can see now. The design is cool. Shaders make it better, partially. I mean, I don't need shaders, but they're cool to have. This is a cool mod. I give it a 10 out of 10. There's no but to that, but I pretended there was. I just gave this mod a 10 out of 10. Really. I think the major issue right now is that I'm slightly lagging, but I also have Google Chrome open. I'm OBS probably doesn't take that much, and I'm using a shader, so it's probably not good. This boss fight might also be pretty hard, but then again, I suck at Minecraft, so don't ask me how hard a Minecraft boss is. I'm not. I'm going to tell you that all of them are equally hard because I'm so bad at Minecraft relative to how difficult the bosses are that they all feel the same. Impossible. So, that ends part 1 of this video. I might do a part 2 if I have the motivation. We'll cover the items and weapons and, I guess, some of the important blocks. But only if I feel like doing it. Oh, hold on. I haven't covered even all the mobs in this video. You've seen a lot of them. But hold on. Before the video ends, let's quickly go through all of them. How about that? Okay. Surely there's an easier way than doing this, but I have no knowledge of it. Oh, this isn't all the mobs, by the way. There are a few mobs that are missing spawn eggs, and I'll show them with the bee colony core. Yes, there's Sculk bees. Okay, so you know... Okay. Quick montage. Sculk Spore Spewer. Corrupts the ground. It's a little... Yeah, no, it's right there. Sculk Mite, the burrowed effect. Sculk Mite Aggressor. Unlike the Sculk Mite, it doesn't actually give the burrowed, it just kills. Sculk Zombie. Sculk Spitter, your skeleton. Sculk Creeper, showed you that already. Sculk Hatcher. What it does is it sacrifices its own health to spit out Sculk Mites. Sculk Sheep has a long range. It's pretty... It's Sculk Manipulator. Okay, now I have to clear out this entire hub. I know there's a faster way to do this. I really do. Oh, well, this is faster anyway. This is definitely better. Sculk Ghast, I showed you already. Sculk Ravager, basically like a strong tank unit. Sculk Witch, they actually run away in battles and they like give hostile potion effects, debuffs to enemies and like this buff strength. I wonder why it's like decreasing so quickly. Anyway, Sculk Leech, it's the underwater version of oh my god, if I can find water. That's ice. That's ice. Underwater version of the Sculk Mite. Sculk Salmon underwater version of the Sculk Mite Aggressor. Sculk Squid is actually special. It like kind of swims around applying burrow. If I can show you. Yeah, so there's a bunch of regular squids. I hope. Yeah. So it does this thing, right? And this squid has blindness. Okay. Give it burrow. Sculk Pufferfish underwater version of Sculk Witch. Sculk Phantom, basically, they are spawned by the nodes, right? And they find a suitable place, and they turn into a corpse that does the same thing as the Sculk Spore Spewer. Sculk Guardian, underwater version of the Sculk Spitter, can't really do anything above water. Sculk Stinger is the aerial version of the Sculk Mite. Angel Reaping, Sculk Animate, I've shown you that. Okay. This is massive speedrunning. So now, it's the bee colony program. That's one of the mobs that's missing a spawn egg. The other mobs, there are some other mobs. There's 2. In experimental, which I'll show you. They'll be out soon. But the bee colony core. The brood spitter, I believe, might just be, yeah. The animation is not fully done, but I believe it just might be a spitter. And the brood hatcher, I can never call you having 100 health. I guess it's going to be like the spitter boss or something that's going to spawn on the spitters. We don't really know much of this. I'm just giving Oh yes, Sculk Horde also has custom music and sound effects. How long I've been doing this for? 24 minutes. Okay, quickly, spawn the bees. I have to showcase this. Come on, come on. Just give it a moment, it's gonna do it eventually. Okay, the bees will pop out of the bee nest. So there's Sculk bee infectors and harvesters, they both look the same. Infectors, I believe they're referred to as infestors on the wiki. But, what they do is if I check, the harvester seeks out Sculk flora. So like Sculk foliage, like maybe this mushroom or this short grass, and turns them into mass. And this infestor or infector seeks out normal Minecraft grass and uses it to spread infestation. So harvester, infector, harvester, they're all visually identical, they have no spawning. So that's all the mobs. Technically all the entities. Typically a bunch of the attacks also count as entities, but I'm not gonna explain that. I mean you've seen them. So, this mod is cool. Like and subscribe if you want a part 2 or something. And I guess comment for algorithm engagement, but barely anybody watches my videos, and this isn't even the most popular infection mod. I think it has like 1 million downloads. Spawn Infection Spore has 6 million, Escape and Run has 20 million. I just improvised this video, by the way. Alright, goodbye. Have a great, well, right now it's not time for me, but have a good day.